she has lived up to expectations, right? I'm looking at her the way I look at LeBron James, right? For us, just in the women's side of things, and the height that she had, the expectations she had.
Let's start with the rookie, Caitlyn Clark Kent. Superwoman, you see what I did there? She was on a tear, and last night was no different. Wings, fever. Caitlyn Clark set to go as she broke the single-season assist record.
She's been playing like a top 5 player in the league. She's been regularly dishing out double-digit assists in that time frame. Teams can no longer blitz her and trap her.
Did you know that only 0.1% of social media comments are creating 90% of the drama around Caitlyn Clark? Yeah, you heard that right. A tiny group of trolls is fooling millions. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video, but here's the real shocker. The WNBA just had its highest rated regular season in 21 years.
WNBA Player of the Week. There have only been 40 triple-doubles in the history of the WNBA. Cheryl Swoops recorded the first WNBA triple-double during the 1999 season, while Caitlyn Clark logged the most recent triple-double earlier this week. She now has 102 on the season and is 19 away from Diana Taurasi in second place and 26 away from UNESCO of the New York Liberty. She ain't beating Asia Wilson for the MVP, but she's beating Angel Reese for the Rookie of the Year. That's a wrap. That's over. And props to Angel Reese, who's had a good year, by the way.
So why is everyone talking about hate instead of celebrating? Jonquel Jones is asking the same question, and her answer is gonna blow your mind. You know what's wild? Everyone's talking about Caitlyn Clark like she's the only thing happening in the WNBA. But trust me, there's so much more to this story. Let's break it down. Clark joins the Indiana Fever, and boom, suddenly their games are selling out left and right. That's not normal for a rookie, folks. We're talking packed arenas, fans going crazy, the whole 9 yards. It's like she brought a tornado of excitement with her. But here's where it gets interesting. Some people are saying all this attention isn't fair to other players. Can you imagine being a veteran in the league? Someone who's been grinding for years, and suddenly all eyes are on the new kid? That's gotta be tough, right? Let's talk numbers for a second. TV ratings, through the roof. Ticket sales, skyrocketing. Social media, exploding. It's like Clark hit the basketball world with a lightning bolt. Everyone wants a piece of the action. But you know what's crazier? All this attention comes with a price, and Clark's about to find out what that means. It's not all sunshine and rainbows when you're in the spotlight 24/7.
She's the first rookie to win WNBA Player of the Month since the award's inception in 2010, and last night it was no exception. They were sky high for Caitlyn Clark and the Fever, but to start the season, they had a little bit of a rough go of it. They lost their first 5 games. They ended up 1-8 through their first 9 games, and during that first month, the playoffs, they didn't feel realistic at all. Indy entered the Olympic break 11-15 on the year, and then they really turned it around. They've won 7 of their 8 since. They clinched a playoff berth for the first time since 2016, which, by the way, was the last year of Hall of Famer and franchise icon Tamika Catchings.
People start picking apart every little thing you do. It's intense. Here's the real kicker. The WNBA hasn't seen anything like this since, well, maybe ever. We're talking Jordan-level hype here. It's insane. Why is Clark different? Why is she the one breaking all the records and turning heads? That's what we're about to find out. Because let me tell you, it's not just about her skills on the court. There's something else going on here. Something bigger than just one player. And when you see it, it's gonna blow your mind. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into the Caitlyn Clark effect. And trust me, it's way more than just hype. It's changing the game in ways nobody saw coming. Are you ready for this? Remember how we said Clark's changing the game? Well, some of those changes are straight up terrifying. We're talking online mobs, political drama, and the kind of hate that'll make your skin crawl. Ready to see the ugly truth behind the hype? So Clark's a superstar, right? But you know what comes with that spotlight? A whole lot of drama. And I'm not talking about normal sports drama. This is next level crazy. Let's talk about what happened with Diamond DeShields. It was just a normal foul on Clark. Nothing special, nothing dirty, but people lost their minds. You won't believe what happened next. Imagine being DeShields. You're just playing the game, doing your job, and suddenly your Instagram is flooded with the nastiest comments you've ever seen. We're talking death threats, folks. Real scary stuff. You know what some of these fans said? They were making fun of DeShields' tumor. Yeah, you heard that right. They were saying stuff like, that tumor should have took you out, and Ms. Tumor, are you alright? That's not just mean, that's evil. But it's not just DeShields. Remember Chennedy Carter? Same thing happened to her. She fouled Clark, and boom! The internet exploded. It got so bad that a US congressman got involved. Can you believe that? A politician demanding an investigation over a basketball foul. That's insane. Here's the crazy part. These fans aren't even real basketball fans. They're just looking for drama. They don't care about the game. They just want to stir up trouble and make people feel bad. We could show you some of the comments these players are getting, but trust me, you don't want to see that. It's way worse than you think. It's the kind of stuff that makes you lose faith in humanity. But here's what you need to know. This isn't Clark's fault. She's just playing ball, doing her thing. She even spoke out against these trolls, saying they're not real fans. And she's right, so who's really to blame? That's the million-dollar question. Is it social media, the media, the league? It's complicated, and there's no easy answer. But one thing's for sure. This dark side of fame is something we need to talk about. Because if we don't, it's only going to get worse. Remember that foul on Clark we talked about? Well, one newspaper called it assault. Yep, you heard that right. Assault in a basketball game. And that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to how the media is handling this whole Caitlyn Clark situation. Let's talk about the Chicago Tribune for a second. They took a normal basketball foul and turned it into some kind of criminal act. Can you believe that? It's like they've never watched a basketball game before. But here's the thing, it's not just one paper going crazy. This is happening all over the place. Every little thing Clark does becomes front page news. She ties her shoes? Breaking news alert. She drinks water? Stop the presses. It's like the media's lost their minds. They're not even telling the whole story anymore. They're just picking out the juiciest bits and blowing them way out of proportion. You know what's really messed up? While they're busy making a big deal out of nothing, they're missing the real story. Imagine if they focused on the actual basketball instead of all this drama. Crazy, right? We'd be hearing about amazing plays, game-changing strategies, and the incredible talent all over the league. But nope. Instead, we get headlines that make it sound like every WNBA game is some kind of WWE wrestling match. It's not fair to Clark, and it's definitely not fair to all the other players out there busting their butts every game. Let's talk about how the media covers other players compared to Clark. The difference is mind-blowing. You've got players like Aja Wilson and Breanna Stewart having incredible seasons, but you barely hear a peep about them. It's all Clark, all the time. And when they do talk about other players, it's usually just to stir up some drama with Clark. Here's the real question though. Is all this media circus actually helping women's basketball? Or is it just creating a bunch of noise that's drowning out the real stuff that matters? The answer might surprise you, and it's got a lot of people in the WNBA worried. You know who's speaking up about this? Jonquel Jones. She's calling out the media for focusing on all the negative stuff and accusations against Clark. Jones is saying, this isn't what women's basketball is about. It's not about drama or controversy. It's about the game, the talent, and the amazing things these athletes can do on the court. And you know what? Jones is right. All this media hype is taking away from the real story. Women's basketball is growing. It's getting better and more exciting every day. But you wouldn't know that from reading the headlines. It's time for the media to step up and start telling the whole story, not just the parts that get the most clicks. Okay, hold up. Jones is onto something big here, but she's only scratched the surface. You know what's really wild about this whole situation? While everyone's been obsessing over Clark, they've completely missed the real story that's unfolding right under their noses. And trust me, it's a game changer. Here's the deal. The WNBA is having its best season ever. Yeah, you heard that right. And it's not just because of Caitlyn Clark. I mean, she's part of it, sure, but there's so much more going on. Let's talk numbers for a second. TV ratings? They're through the roof. And I'm not just talking about fever games. Nope, we're seeing crazy high numbers across the board. People are tuning in to watch all kinds of WNBA games, not just when Clark's on the court. And get this, attendance is breaking records left and right. You'd think it was just in the cities where Clark's playing, right? Wrong. We're seeing packed arenas in places Clark hasn't even set foot in yet. That's huge. But here's the kicker. While everyone's been yapping about Clark, players like Aja Wilson and Brianna Stewart are out there having monster seasons. We're talking MVP level stuff here, but you don't hear about that as much, do you? That's the real problem. These players are putting up insane numbers, making game-winning plays, and leading their teams to victory. But the media is so focused on the Clark drama that they're missing all these incredible stories. It's like they've got blinders on or something. You know who's not missing it though? The players themselves. Jonquel Jones has been speaking up about this, and let me tell you, it's eye-opening stuff. She's saying we need to focus on the game, not the drama. And she's right on the money. So what's the real story here? It's bigger than just one player. It's about a league that's growing, evolving, and getting better every single day. It's about a whole bunch of incredibly talented women pushing the boundaries of what's possible in basketball. And that's what really matters. The WNBA isn't just the Caitlyn Clark show, it's a league full of stars, each with their own amazing story. And if we keep letting the media circus distract us, we're gonna miss out on some of the best basketball we've ever seen. So next time you tune into a game, don't just watch for Clark. Watch for all the incredible talent on that court. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. All right, let's wrap this up. You know what's crazy? We've been talking about Caitlyn Clark this whole time, but she's just one part of this amazing WNBA story. The league is blowing up right now, and it's not just because of one player. Here's the thing. We gotta be smart about how we talk about the WNBA. It's not just about drama and headlines. It's about incredible athletes doing amazing things on the court every single night. You know what Jonquel Jones said? She wants the WNBA to protect its players better. That's huge, folks. So next time you watch a game, don't just focus on the big names. Watch how the whole team works together. Check out those clutch plays from players you might not know yet. Trust me, you'll see some mind-blowing stuff. The WNBA is full of superstars, and they're all worth watching. That's the real story here, and it's only getting better.